Hello, Libra. Welcome to Gemini season. It's a good time. Ninth house activity, right? We just had all that eighth house Taurus stuff. And man, I think that we're like, oh, finally we can breathe. Finally we can breathe. And here you are. Beautiful. I think there's a calmness about everything. This Mars in Cancer is really great for Libra, I think, because it's so calm. Even just driving around today, like Mars and Aries, it's always like aggressive and egos and people cutting everybody off. But Mars in Cancer I always pay attention to the way people drive when Mars transits. Mars in Cancer, people seem to be a lot more polite. They seem to be a lot more sympathetic. They seem to be a lot more like collaborative, working together, that kind of thing. And you know what, Libra, I think that you are ready to move forward, but in a very easy kind of way. I think you've had to learn really hard lessons recently about being easy on yourself. Neptune in the sixth house is tough because while everyone else, you're trying, you have to do certain things. You have to have the 8 to 5 or the 9 to 5 job. You have to make the money. You have to survive. You have to do certain X, Y, and Z things, whatever it is. And yet at the same time, there is this genuine feeling of oh my God, I don't want to. I just don't care. I don't care about the details. I don't care about the little things, And I think in many ways, Libra would prefer to just wave the wand and be boom, there's my dream home. Boom, there's my relationship. Boom, because it's the essence of Neptune. It's the idealistic quality. And you've kind of had to come to grips with yeah, but you got to do the work. You got to do the work, which but it's been hard to really drudge up that true desire to go make that happen, which is what the world has been shoving down your throat your whole life. So you're finding that balance between waving the magic wand and actually getting in the grind and being in the trenches and doing what you got to do. Here she is, the nurturing, self-care, taking care of yourself, and also taking it easy on yourself. We know with Virgo in that 12th house that you can be really critical of yourself. You compare yourself to others. You hold yourself against other people's timeline expectations and yada, yada, yada. This is your life, right? This is your life. You're taking it one step at a time. And when you start being easy on yourself and start giving yourself grace and start relaxing, those idealistic Neptunian fairy tale dreams that you have are going to start making their way from the ethereal realm into the physical realm. One small step at a time, guys. One small step at a time. You don't have to get lost in anything. I think the Queen of Cups has sharp focus. For you, that's 10th house activity, right? This is Cancer Capricorn combo. And we know how powerful those signs are. Cancer is very similar to Libra in that you're the dark horse of the zodiac, right? You are kind of the ones that no one expects. I said this to Virgo a little bit too. You're the ones that no one expects is going to win. And then all of a sudden, at the last minute, you're the one pulling ahead of all the other horses. And you end up winning. That's the essence of the Queen of Cups right here. She's a winner 100%. But if she gets a little too anxious, a little too much anxiety, she gets a little bit too much in her head and she starts listening to other people and doesn't trust herself and feels unworthy or whatever, ... we know the drill. It becomes debilitating. We paralyze ourselves. So what the Queen of Cups does really well is just one small little thing at a time. If you're trying to build your dream home and it's going to cost $3 million or something, right? Let's just say that this is your dream. You want this home in whatever, Aspen, Colorado or something, And you're yeah, but I only make 50 grand. How am I ever gonna afford this dream home that I want so much? And then you get lost and you get trapped and you get debilitated by the gap. Where you are now versus where you want to be. And you're just staring at this gap and you're oh my God, there's no way I can cross this bridge. It's too big. It's too big of a gap. The minute you start playing that ball game is the minute that you squash your dreams. But what you can do, what Queen of Cups would do, okay, what her strategy would be. So you want this $3 million home and you have $50,000. Okay, well, what you can do is you can start get a scrap of paper and start like laying out the floor plan. Get on Pinterest and start kind of picking out the style or the interior design or the furniture that you're kind of wanting. Start tagging things. Start putting together a little vision board or something. Start shopping and getting an idea of the budget. Maybe meet with an architect to at least get the blueprints done, or something like that. Slow, easy steps of progress. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. All right, that was a big speech with only 2 cards, but that 8 of Swords is sort of like Libra's arch nemesis because you can so easily get trapped in all the details, hear all the things that need to be done, and it's so overwhelming. But if you just take one at a time, it's like no problem, and it will be in your life before you know it. You know how like at the end of the year, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like 2019 already. Oh my God, like time goes by so fast. With that same idea of like day to day is normal, day to day is regular, and then looking back, you're like, oh my God, like where did time go? Oh my God. And you'll have made so much progress. See, I think you're stressing yourself out for nothing. If you're dealing with relationship stuff, now I was using kind of like a more real world thing, but if you're dealing with issues of the heart, and you're at a space of banging your head against the wall, like I said, it's the gap. You seem to be staring into this gap where you are versus where you want to be, and you are stressing out. And if you're trying to find a relationship and you are like the most single person you know, what are you doing to get yourself in that space, right? Google the feng shui of your bedroom decor, right? Get those pink sheets on your bed. Get some of those symbols in the right corners of your house. Get your hair done. Get a makeover. Go shopping. Get a mani-pedi, like whatever, right? Self-care. Self-care. Take care of yourself. It's like Queen of Cups, Queen of Coins. They know how to take care of themselves. And they know how to feel attractive. They know how to feel like they are resonating at a frequency that is drawing things into them. So you're kind of being counterproductive with the anxiety part of all of this. If you're stressing about money, just one little thing at a time. I think you're trying to eat the whole elephant all at once. No one's trying to tell you to do that. No one is trying to get you to like do everything. No one's trying to get you from 0 to 100 like overnight. What do they say? Rome wasn't built in a day. Don't stress about the gap. Open your eyes, take the blindfold off, take your hands off your eyes, and just look at one sword. Just one. That's manageable. You can handle that. You can track these swords and probably pinpoint them back to fears from childhood. If your parents got divorced, or maybe there was an abusive situation growing up. Or maybe it's hindered your ability to fall in love. I don't know. You had money problems. Maybe it's hindered your ability to accumulate wealth. I don't know. Trace it back. Figure it out. I said this in another reading, like follow the money. Maybe that was Cancer. Follow the money. Like where is the point of origin of where this particular fear is really coming from? Because as far as we know, this like extreme amount of motion is trying to get through to you. The amount of blessings and all the things that you're manifesting is trying to get through to you, but it can't because you're blocking it. You kind of have this like do not enter written all over you, and then you're wondering why the blessings don't come. Ask yourself what it is you're doing energetically. What are you doing in terms of your actions? If Taurus season kicked your ass, 8th house, be prepared to have your ass kicked again in Cancer season because the sun, eclipses, Pluto opposition, Saturn opposition, coming in contact with Mars. I mean, Cancer season is going to be legit. It's going to be legit intense. So this is a time for you to catch your breath, get your momentum going, acknowledge the swords, acknowledge the gap, and acknowledge your part in what needs to be done. All right. This is taking some accountability, which Libra is generally really good at. It's not like you can't do it. Of course you can. You have an Energizer bunny way about you with Virgo in the 12th. So I'm not worried that Libra can do the work. Of course you can. You know what you're capable of. But I also think that the way that the things you're wanting are going to manifest, they're not going to happen in the way the world has been telling you, or the way you see on TV, or like whoever you watch. Excuse me. If you watch people like motivational people on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, what I think Libra is trying to do with the Queen of Cups energy, she's trying to find a way to manifest the $3 million home or whatever with the smallest amount of work possible, which there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, like to say like, okay, universe, I would really love to make this X number of money. I'd really love to have this kind of relationship. And I'd really like to, not try as hard as I'm told I'm supposed to. So when you kind of have that attitude and you kind of work see, this is ease. To work through the gap with ease. And you can manifest that. You can manifest a path that is smooth, maybe a little bit longer, maybe it might take a little bit more time, but you can manifest your way through the gap and through the darkness with no fear. Like you would just manifest no fear, right? What do I always say? Manifest the emotions, not the circumstances. So what happens is when you manifest no fear, or you manifest a path that is smooth, not to say stuff doesn't come up, not to say stuff doesn't go wrong, not to say you won't still get a little bit hurt, but the way you handle it is like a totally different way. Whereas instead of getting lost in the throes of the anxiety and the sadness and the Nine of Swords, feeling like, oh my God, like someone just stuck a dagger in my back, literally, instead it just water off a duck's back, knowing that you are making a smooth transition and knowing that you are working to create a smooth transition. Turbulent waters still happen, but you're the Queen of Cups, man. Like you can handle turbulent waters. You're sitting on sand. You somehow have found stability on sand right next to the water. And we know what happens when you draw like a little smiley face in the sand right where the waves come up. You know that as soon as those waves come up and they go down, that smiley face is gone. But somehow you found stability in that area there. I don't know how you've done it, but you've done it. And maybe the Neptune in the 6th house has really shown you the difference between the spiritual and the real world and how you can use both to work together. And it's been a learning experience, but I think those lessons are really starting to sink in now because you've manifested things along the years, you have. And you're starting to get the hang of it and you're starting to become more powerful. You're starting to understand what it really means to manifest something. 3 of Coins, it's productivity, prosperity, it's your structure. You're building something substantial, some kind of an empire. You're building something, probably from the ground up. And maybe you've been like in the trenches for a while now. Maybe you're sick of being in the trenches. Maybe you're going to start taking a more white glove approach. Because sometimes being in the trenches and working harder, like, it means nothing. It's like, what's the point? Not always. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But there's that phrase, work smarter, not harder. Work more intelligently. Dedicate your time and energy and productivity into the most rewarding activities to get the goal done, to get the goal accomplished. This is not a romantic reading. This is about your energy, which is probably affecting relationships. Libra, you might be a little bit edgy with people, simply because you're kind of battling these swords a little bit. You're trying to find the even ground. And you're trying to understand how you get from where you are to the ultimate dream. I think you're in a really dreamy place. Ninth house, it's all optimism. It's all like, what's possible? What's possible for me? Mars in the 10th, ambition. You're ready to go. You're ready to apply it. And I think you're tired of like the regular obstacles. Like I think you're ready for a whole new set of obstacles, plural. You know, like in romance, you're not trying to date the guys with mommy issues anymore. You're not trying to date the guys that have insecurities about their financial situation. You're not trying to date the women that have daddy issues, vice versa. You know, you're not trying to do that anymore. You're trying to get away from that kind of stuff because you've done it too many times. You haven't spoken up. You haven't done whatever you needed to do too many times. And now it's different. Now it's different. Saturn, Pluto, 4th house. You are breaking patterns and habits from way back in childhood and then some, right? Considering past lives. So, you know, you're trying to build an empire and it is one piece at a time. One piece at a time. I don't want to see my Libras getting overwhelmed at all. There's no reason. You just do it. When I put the cards down, you're going to see how much blue there is, which means your intuition. It's the color of truth. I think you finally feel like, okay, I know that I know what to do. I know what I've been doing to block things out. I know what I've been doing to keep success away from me, to keep love away from me. And now I know what to do to stop doing that. Ace of Wands reversed with the 8 of Wands reversed. Look, you guys, the minute you flip the switch, and that's just a matter of a decision. The minute that you start looking, this is like, you know, one of the first things when you're like learning about money, learning about your balance sheet, how to calculate net worth and all that stuff. They always say like, well, if you want to know what you're worth, you got to look at your books. So you got to look at your books, guys. You got to know what you're working with. You got to know what your assets are doing, what your portfolio is doing. So this stuff is just like, okay, Libra, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. And I think that this is like itching to come to you because you're calling it to you. Your mind is saying it, you're permeating, you're putting it out into the universe. It's like you're putting it out and keeping it away from you at the same time. From fear. But this stuff is like, Libra, I don't know what to do. It's just kind of like hanging out, kind of lingering, not knowing how to respond to your thoughts, not knowing how to respond to any kind of like flip-flop, because one day you might be really optimistic about something and then 2 days later you're like, yeah, no, I don't want it anymore. So it's just like, you got to be clear. You got to be clear. This is amazing. If you want love, sex, passion, if you want to start a new business, you want to start a whole new craft, it's just waiting for you to grab it. It's already here. You just got to grab it. You just got to say, okay, come to me now. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the work. I'm not afraid of what it means in terms of maybe people leaving my life. I'm ready for change. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not as big as you think. I think there's a quality of over-exaggeration, okay? How lovely this is. Why do I get a feeling, maybe this is the Venus in Taurus right now, why do I get a feeling that Libra is like itching to be in a garden? I'm going through that a little bit myself too, but I was talking to a couple other people and they said something that kind of was like, that's weird. Because I was thinking the same thing, wanting to be outdoors, but not just like going for a walk in New York City or in LA, going to the beach or whatever, but like the wilderness, like the forest, where the green is really green, where the grass is really green, like the green, the heart color, the color of the heart chakra, connecting with love. And maybe that is something that you need, because when I put the camera down here in just a second, you'll see it's like all blue and silver, blue and gray. I think you need a little bit more green in your life. Maybe if you can't get outside to some kind of a garden, I would recommend like just green candles or buying some green bed sheets or something, but like surrounding yourself with something green, buying a house plant, I don't know, whatever, just simply to connect yourself with life a little bit more. I think that's kind of what this is. There's also a fantasy quality as well. Let's talk about other things, okay? There's a fantasy quality. The best relationship you could ever have, the best job you could ever have, the ultimate circumstance that will give you no reason to stress or worry for the rest of your life. The ultimate financial situation that you can get to where you'll never have to think about money again. Like, this is the level of idealism that's coming through. And I want you to know, Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, Six of Swords, Three of Coins, both telling you that it is absolutely within your reach, that there's no question about it. The ultimate. I think some of you are getting back to your roots of like feeling like a child a little bit, feeling like you're dreaming and imagining the way a child, or the way you did when you were a child. And I think it feels good. Like, in a way, it feels like you're coming back home. The essence of Saturn, Pluto in the 4th house, Mars in Cancer. Like, it feels like you're returning back to who you are. And that's why this is so beautiful. So let's put the camera down. So you can see what I mean by the color, right? Like how much blue there is. Your intuition is guiding you. So be sure that you're not just entirely disregarding everything, okay? Now, let's pull from the other deck. Kind of supplemental cards. The Empress, which is your card, right? Libra, all about Venus. Your real values are smacking you across the face. The things that really matter, Venus in the 8th house. Like to your core. Maybe that's why nature is one of them, right? That's why your childhood fantasy dreams is one of them. Why you're... See, and I think you're afraid to dream like you did when you were a child a little bit. That's also part of the Swords as well. In the Knight of Wands. Do you have a fire sign in your midst? Sagittarius. Also Aries, Leo. Could be any sign though, doesn't have to be that particular zodiac sign, but it's someone who's displaying this. This could also be you with the 9th house sun. Although I feel like this is much more your speed, connecting with the Queen of Cups. This one is very opposite from you. This might be something that you are... Okay, here's what I'm feeling. This is someone who is so different than you. And for all intents and purposes, there's a dialogue going on in your mind that's like, I shouldn't be with someone like that. Or it's never going to work with someone like that, or with that person. It's never going to be what it's supposed to be. They're a knight, I'm an empress. It's not going to work. We're not vibing. We don't have the same goals. Look, even the coloring, like how much does this card coloring stand out against the entire reading, right? I mean, this is clearly an anomaly. Yet, at the same time, you are looking at them and they're looking at you. I can't deny chemistry. If this is a romance, you are way overthinking this. This is a one day at a time type of deal. If you feel like you want to just feel love and you want to feel sexual passion and you want to feel chemistry, what I would recommend you do, by all means, have fun, go for it. It will ignite you. It will make you feel alive. But don't try to put it into a box. In a way, I feel like this one is a key to your liberation from this. You may be sitting there being like, okay, well, where is it going? Is it our future? Does this person want kids? Can we move in together? Can we, thinking about the assets, thinking about the money, thinking about the time investment. Take a breather. Relax. Okay? You don't have to project forward. The minute you start projecting forward is a minute the Knight of Wands is going to totally ghost you, and you're going to be like, oh my God, what happened? Where did they go? No expectations. You can still work to manifest. You can, if this is not like the one, okay, or the business partner or the best friend, you can use the way that they make you feel to raise your vibration. Like if you guys have amazing sex, let's just say that because of the sort of phallic symbol coming through here. This is a really sexual energy. If this person gives you like the best sex you've ever had, then like at the time of orgasm, you can manifest stuff. Did you guys know that? It's one of the most powerful times for you to set intentions and like resonate what it is you're looking for. So if you kind of know that this person isn't the one, you can still use what they give you to set you on fire, to make your energy stronger, to make your dreams come true. This is not for nothing. Just don't try to put it into a box and don't try to worry too much about the future. If you really feel like this person is not the one and you can't deal with it and all of that, then just simply don't engage. It's not a big deal. It's kind of like this person is optional. I think I said that to Virgo too, something. It's optional. Because you got stuff going on, Since you're not trying to eat the whole elephant anymore and you're just trying to take one bite at a time, well, then pick up that spoon and start taking bites, right? Pick up the spoon, start taking some bites. Venus, your ruling planet, amazing. All about love. You may be manifesting love, might be what this is. If this is someone that's causing you heartache or this is the person that's causing you the swords are on you. The swords are your responsibility. They are the energy through which it's indicative of what you're allowing. Like if you're not happy with something and yet you continue to allow it, well then, put yourself in check a little bit and be like, okay, well, what am I doing to cause this pain? What am I doing to contribute to this hurt? Okay? Venus is powerful though, the goddess of love and beauty. She's no stranger to like having affairs and having really amazing sex and being really in tune with her body. And, she's no stranger to that. She's the free one, right? Where the moon is like the wifey. This is like the mistress, the one that doesn't have all the wifely duties. She's the one that the moon lives vicariously through, so to speak. So live into that. Enjoy it. It's a blessing. It's a gift. From my Sacred Spirit deck, channel your knowledge. I have been reading from the booklet just because I'm not too familiar yet. I haven't spent too much time reading this booklet here. But let me pull out like the first paragraph for you, and then we'll start the comprehensive cards. So if you are just beginning to open yourself to intuitive and spiritual communication, automatic writing can act as a bridge to strengthen your mind and intuitive channel. Before undertaking such a skill, you are encouraged to keep a clear and sacred space, free of lower thought forms and energy that may cling or seek to enter an open channel door. Seek a suitable teacher. Currently, soul guidance is required. That's why all the blue is coming out. Your soul is trying to talk to you. You are being asked to connect to the higher wisdom of your soul, removing ego-based barriers such as expectations, internal ridicule, fear, and control are necessary for clarity and peace of mind. Okay, this is referencing automatic writing. Okay, he's got his pen there. Journaling. Mars in Cancer is a brilliant time for journaling. As soon as Mercury enters there, brilliant time for journaling. And I think that it's going to be very healing because it's going to help you tackle the origin of where these fears and this feeling of like needing control and these expectations, all of this are really coming from. Because it's this stuff that's really preventing all these amazing things from coming in. And that is 100% within your control. Within 1 second, you can snap your fingers and just dissolve all of these if that's what you really want. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's just a change of mind, change of perspective. Okay, the cards that I'm going to pull now are going to be covered in the comprehensive. The link will be in the description box down below. We continue talking for about 20 to 25 minutes. So there's a lot to go over. If you purchase and you don't receive the link right away, just shoot me an email and I'll get you the link as soon as possible. Okay. Queen of Cups. Brilliant. Okay. The expression of gratitude. Okay, here we go. The expression of gratitude and abundance has to be priority number 1 for you this month. It has to be. And as we make our way into Cancer, you'll be glad that you set that ball in motion now. Set the ball of gratitude in motion now. Okay? Yeah, more swords. Why am I not surprised? There's your liberation, though. This is not going to last long. The brilliance of the sun in the 9th house is that it is kind of like a precursor to Leo season for you, like 9th house, 11th house activity. It's a precursor to absolute liberation. Precursor to like obliterating setbacks. I mean, like truly obliterating. Okay, 9 of Swords twice. Yeah, okay. King of Coins may have something to do with that as well. There's definitely a money component coming through. That's probably the planet of money, Venus going through a house of money, 8th house, in a sign of money, Taurus. Okay. How do you feel about your money? I'll tell you guys something that I tell everyone in my privates now, because I'm realizing how important it is. So money is associated with survival, and in this the root chakra is associated with survival. And because in this world, amazing. This is the shattering of all this stuff, by the way. In this world, money is the means of our survival. It's how we survive. So money and the root chakra are interconnected. If you have a blockage with money, no matter how much money you actually have, it's irrelevant. You can have like $10 in your bank account or 10 million. But if you have a mental blockage about it, okay, then that energy can't go up any further than your root chakra. It can't rise to your 2nd chakra, which has to do with sex, probably making relationships really hard. Can't rise to your 3rd chakra, which is about self-confidence and power and authenticity and a healthy expression of your identity and who you are. It can't rise to your heart, which enables you to feel love. So even if you have $10 in your bank account, the only thing that really matters is how you feel about it. Right? Okay. I'm seeing a person here. Another 8 of Wands reversed. Look at that. But with the sun. 6th house, one day at a time, right? I feel like this Emperor and the King of Coins are connected. Different person, though, I think. You might be reaching out to like an advisor. Right? 9th house has a lot to do with guidance and gurus and coaches, and that includes financial coaches and, tax experts and that kind of thing. People that can guide you and show you the proper channels by which you can achieve success or to achieve your goals. I think you're getting pretty serious about stuff, Libra, which is great. It's really great. Oh, I love when that happens. I really do. Don't compromise on your dreams. It's been all the compromise up till this point that's gotten you to where you are. Not to say you're in a bad place. I don't think you're in a bad place. But I also think that you know as well as I do that when it comes to your ultimate reality and your ultimate dreams, there is probably some things you could have done differently in the past. Yeah, no regret though. Of course there's no regret. It's all a lesson. 7 of Wands again. You may even be experiencing writer's block. If you don't journal, start journaling. Okay? 6 of Swords again. So we're getting a lot of the same cards coming through. So we're going to pick this up in the comprehensive down below. Again, the link will be in the description box. So if you want to join me, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care.